And it's raining hard. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the video. It's me, Danny, and today I'm actually not in my usual setup place, which is my mom's house. I'm actually in my dad's new house. I'm not gonna tell you where because, you know. But I just wanted to say that since October's here, I wanted to start a new series. Now, this is not an original idea. I actually got this from Courage Tension. Shout out to you, by the way. You're the best. And kind of like Spooky Scary Sunday, I kind of want to do something like uh, every week. And I was thinking about something like horror hump days. Oh, if you don't know what hump day is, it's basically kind of like a pun because it's like a Wednesday, and Wednesdays are in the middle of the week, and hump is like a camel, whatever. Yeah, horror hump days, where I'm going to be reacting to scary videos every Wednesday. That's right, and unlike Courage Tension, I'm going to do it on time. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get the first episode started. So yeah, guys, as I mentioned before, we're going to be reacting to 4 horror videos. And I'm gonna be doing this every Wednesday. Horror hump days. Yeah, let's get it, boy. And unlike Horror Tension, I'm not gonna have you guys send me videos over Twitter because my channel is not that big. So I'm gonna be picking by random, whatever channel that makes horror content. Yeah. Now, before we get started on the video, I just wanted to mention that this first video is Disturbing True Snapchat Stories Animated. It was uploaded by Llama Arts, and yeah, she or he puts out some banger content. So please subscribe to him. Links in the description. I did not get any permission from him or her, so please don't copyright strike. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be amazing. But without any further ado, oh yeah, right, let's turn off this light. That way to be more spooky. And yeah, and I just so happen to be recording on a rainy and lightning day. That's even a word. Rain and thunder day. It's a storm. You probably hear the rain right now. And if you hear lightning, it puts on the spook factor. Let's make Sonic red. Put in the back. That way to be more spooky. So let's go ahead and get started. Disturbing true Snapchat stories. Animated. True disturbing Snapchat stories.
This happened a week ago. Up until a few days ago, I went to a small, local gym in my now previous New Jersey town called Black Bear Fitness. One day, I had the misfortune of running into some skinny, awkward, yet creepy-looking kid, probably 18 years old.
What's up with this kid? What's up with him? This dude does not shower. He's skinny, and why is he wearing long pants and long sleeves? What are you doing in the gym, bro? And to top it all off, he's wearing sandals with socks. And not even the worst of it. My man's been wearing them for a couple weeks now. Have you been running in mud? Also, what did that say? Go back.
I went to a small, local gym in my now previous New Jersey town called Black Bear Fitness. One day...
We can turn that Frankenstein into in the mirror every morning into a Frankenfine. That is the best motto. It's awesome.
I had the misfortune of running into some skinny, awkward, yet creepy-looking kid, probably 18 years old. He didn't look like he belonged in a gym at all. I had headphones in and I was doing my set when I heard him saying something to me, but it was muffled by the music. I was already annoyed with this kid, given that he was breaking an unwritten rule of the gym. Don't try to talk to somebody when they're doing their set.
What does that say? You don't have to be stuck with what you got. That's also a great motto.
I took my time finishing my set, and then took my headphones out to ask if he needed something. Then he started acting like I looked familiar, but right away I knew this kid was just trying some pathetic attempt at making friends. I assured him I didn't, but the kid wouldn't stop talking to me. I'll skip most of the conversation, but eventually he actually asked me for my Instagram and Snapchat, weirdly enough, and for whatever reason I gave them to him. Instead of just saying something like, "Buddy, I'm trying to work out," or "I don't have social media."
Right.
After I gave him my Snapchat and Instagram, however, I did kind of urge him to let me resume my workout. He finally seemed to get the message and walked away. Not without saying bye like 3 times though.
Bro, you weird.
That night I got a snap on my phone saying "from Sean." I immediately sighed and said, "Oh no." Just wondering why the hell the kid would snap me. I opened the snap, and the kid was in a creepy, weird pose, face way too close to the camera, with his head resting in his hand and a half smile on his face. The text over the picture was "hey" with 2 Y.
He said "hey" with the 2 Y. Bro, y'all know what that mean, right? Y'all know what that mean? With the "hey" with the 2 or the 3 Y. And if you a straight dude send another straight dude pictures like this with the "hey" like that, sit down, Chief. We gotta have a talk real quick, bruh.
I muttered the words, "What the fuck?" For the record, I'm a guy, which made this even more weird. My thought process was, I've had enough of this loser already. I'm gonna remove him and make it clear I don't want to talk if I see him at the gym again. And so I did. I removed him minutes after he sent that snap.
What you watching, bruh?
I'm sure not even a minute later, again a message popped up on my phone saying "Snapchat from Sean." I waited a few minutes before opening it. This one was even creepier. Now the kid was sitting up on his bed. No smile, more of a surprised, angry expression. The text over the image said, "Why did you remove me?" Now I went as far as to block him, meaning he couldn't snap me anymore. And that was that. I threw my phone on the desk and sighed out of relief.
Okay, good.
Half an hour later, my phone goes off, saying "Sean added you as a friend," and then Snapchat from Sean.
He made a new account?
He actually made a new account. I opened the snap and felt my heart drop. It was a picture of my front lawn. The text...
Bruh, I've always had fear of that. I've always been so scared that would happen. Like what if I just woke up one day and I looked at my phone and I saw a notification and it was a picture from like Snapchat or Instagram, whatever, or even on my text messages from someone I don't know, and they sent me a picture of my front lawn. Bruh, that would be horrifying.
Over it, "Answer me, bitch."
Oh, he calls you a beach.
The first thing I could think of was, how did he find my address? Then I realized, Snapchat made that new map feature that lets you see where your friends are. Somehow I had the balls to open the window to see outside.
No.
It was clear out there. I shut the window and the blinds and started considering calling 911.
Do it!
It was the sound of taps on the window. I took a deep breath, and with one swift motion, I pulled up the blind and the window at the same time and pulled the kid into my room by his neck. I punched him in the face a few times before he was out cold. Now I called 911. By the time they arrived, he was awake, cursing me out, promising he'd be back and kill me. The cops heard it all. I didn't even have to make a case. The kid was an idiot. Luckily, the timing of this worked out well, because I just moved a couple days ago out of state. Only thing that worries me, I don't want to have to make a new Snapchat account, but anytime somebody new adds me on the app, I'll never know if it's secretly that Sean kid again.
Nah, but you don't have to be worried about him no more. Just some annoying kid, bro. Alright guys, so the next video we're going to be looking at is a disturbing true Snapchat story 2. Alright guys, you ready for this? I'm ready for this. You ready for this? I'm ready for this. You ready for this? Alright, good, let's do it. Ooh. Oh.
This is a short but terrifying story of something that happened when I was Snapchatting a friend.
Bro,
I'm pretty
that's the
young,
same
I'm
kid
only
from the last
13,
story.
still in middle school. A girl I really liked had just recently started snapping me selfie pictures, and we started messaging each other for a few nights. One night when I was watching TV, she sent me a snap of herself
He started up those same flip-flops and socks! Come on!
laying in her bed without a caption.
Hey,
I sent a
what up,
message
girl?
saying, "What's up?" She sent another identical picture, this time with a caption saying, "Not much, you?" She set the timer to 10 seconds, so it gave me plenty of time to analyze the picture, including her bedroom in the background, and the dark outline of a person standing by her window. I quickly sent a response message, saying, "Is that your brother by the window?" She sent another identical snap, this time captioned, "What do you mean?" In this picture, the figure at the window was closer, and I could see a hand pressed up against the glass.
Wait! How'd you not see that, though? When you're taking a selfie... no, first of all, maybe... Okay, maybe in her defense, she's taking a selfie from, like, the back of her phone, which is what no one does. So, they do it with the screen facing towards them, take the picture, and they want to see if they're an ugly face or whatever, and you just see the guy right there in the background. How was she this dumb? Her big old bug-eye eyes never saw that?
I closed the snap before the timer even ran out so I could tell her quicker. I said, "There's somebody at your window, turn around." She opened my snap almost immediately, and then I didn't hear from her again on the app.
Oh no.
I grew more and more worried as the minutes passed. I texted her a few times to no avail. I tried calling her a few times to no avail as well. I didn't know her house phone number, otherwise I would have called her parents. It wasn't until midnight when I was already laying in bed that she finally texted me back. She explained the whole situation. As soon as she looked at her window and saw the person standing there, she screamed, and that caused the person, who turned out to be a 20-something-year-old man, to open the window and jump into the room.
It was unlocked?
From there, she ran to her parents' room
and
woke her
she had no
dad,
blinds?
who went to her room to find nothing but an open window. It wasn't exactly a personal story of mine, but it freaks me out nonetheless, knowing that the only thing that saved my friend from whatever could have happened was the fact that I was able to see the window through her selfies, unbeknownst to the creeper at her window.
Oh. There's like so many things wrong with that. Like, how did she... Again, when you're taking a selfie, most people do it with the screen facing towards them. So not only could she see it while she's taking a selfie, but after she takes a selfie and looks at the picture, she could see the guy right there. She had big old bug eyes. How did she not see that? Yo, but nonetheless, that was fire. Alright guys, so the third story we're going to be looking at is hitchhiking horror stories. Now, I've never been involved with hitchhiking, and I never will, because you never know who could be in the car. They could be a killer. So, which is why I'm never going to be hitchhiking, and I never have, never will. But let's see how this guy or girl, how they got a horror story out of hitchhiking. Hitchhiking horror stories. Let's get it.
3 months after I turned 16 in 2005, I got my first car, a 99 Toyota Camry. On a warm Saturday night, when my friend Alex invited me over to one of his friend's big parties, I knew I wouldn't be in a condition to drive the Camry home afterward. So we carpooled with Alex's girlfriend Brianna.
Wow, you underage
drinking? We lived in the countryside of Virginia, meaning less big parties. Meaning when there was a big party, it was a huge deal and everyone would go. We lived about 5 to 10 minutes away from this kid's house. I knew where he lived as I was acquainted with him, but not exactly friends. The whole ride there, we took the same 2-lane highway type road through the woods, and this kid's house was actually on this road further down. At certain points on this road, there were a few houses on either side, and then it would just go back to being a long, empty highway again. The house was tiny, like a lot of houses around the area, but the party was held outside anyways, since his closest neighbors were relatively far away, and noise wasn't an issue.
Oh, no.
I'll skip most of the party up until the point that Brianna, who was supposed to be our designated driver, had to suddenly leave for a small family emergency. Alex said it was fine and that we'd find a ride home. Well, fast forward another few hours and another few drinks, and I could barely even walk straight.
Lit, bruh.
I checked my watch, and it was like 2 in the morning. I figured it was time to go. I started looking for Alex, but I couldn't find him anywhere. In fact, it seemed like everybody I knew had already left. I could barely even think straight, but I was still furious at the fact that Alex could have actually left without me. I asked to use the party host's phone and dialed Alex's home number. After 2 tries, I gave up and then realized I shouldn't wake his family up. So, literally not knowing what else to do, I dizzily stepped out onto the road and began walking back home.
Nah.
I knew this walk would take anywhere from half an hour to an hour in my condition. Maybe after 15 minutes of walking down the road, the slight shine of car headlights on the road was fading in from behind me. Jumping for joy inside, I lifted up my arm and stuck out my thumb.
No.
As the car neared, it slowed down and came to a stop right next to me. The man driving the '98 Ford Explorer rolled down the window and asked where you headed. I told him my house was just down the road and beyond a right turn, probably slurring my words beyond comprehension. He chuckled and told me to hop in. I thanked him and joyously hopped into the truck. I was exhausted, and I remember completely disregarding things the guy was asking me because I was so close to just passing out. And that's what happened. The memories of being in that truck turned to a fog, as I'm sure I passed out.
You passed out in his car? Oh shoot, where is he? No, don't.
The next thing I remember, I woke up still in the moving truck. The guy looked at me and laughed, but didn't say anything. I looked around and realized the road we were on wasn't familiar. I nervously asked, where are we going? He then said, so what were you doing out this late anyway?
Answer my question!
The man answered my very straightforward question with another irrelevant question, the sobering reality of the situation hit me. You can let me out anywhere, I told the man. The man responded with a firm no. I felt like throwing up as he said that. No, I really actually felt like I was going to throw up.
He said no!
I started to gag as I felt more and more nauseous by the second.
Oh,
the man took his eyes off the road to look at me, and that's when I thought of the perfect distraction. I turned in his direction as I continued to gag, and he started to kind of lean away and slow down the car. Thankfully, I drank as much as I did because I finally threw up and made a point of doing it all over the man's lap. The man yelled in frustration and stopped the car, and that's when I took it upon myself to run for my life into the woods and duck behind a few bushes. The man came following into the woods with a flashlight, and on 2 separate occasions, he shined the light straight over me without noticing. Eventually, I heard his footsteps walk even further into the woods past me. That was when I ran back to his truck, but unfortunately, he was smart enough to lock it. By some miracle, I saw another car approaching in the distance, and I ran out into the middle of the street, waving my arms like a lunatic. The car tried to avoid me, but I wouldn't let it. They were forced to stop, and I yelled at them to help me before they came back.
Yeah, but they could be a killer,
Once I told them that I was kidnapped by the man who was driving that Ford Explorer, the driver agreed to give me a lift. Not to the police station or anything, but to my house. I made it back safely where I couldn't thank the driver enough. I immediately woke up my parents and told them. My dad wanted to know if I got his tag number, and then I felt like punching myself in the face. I failed to get the simplest information from the guy that would have allowed me to actually properly report him. All I knew was that he drove a faded blue '99 Ford Explorer. I made sure to give Alex a piece of my mind, and part of me always held a grudge against him ever since, just for abandoning me at a party without telling me. I haven't seen him in 4 years now, however, and this was actually the first time I even thought about this incident for almost a year now. As time goes on, even the worst of memories may start to fade, but after writing this to share with the internet, it's once again fresh in my mind.
Yeah. You never forget that. But back to the whole license plate thing. That you're being kidnapped, and you're in the middle of the woods. So the first thing in your mind is not to look at the license plate. So he shouldn't be punching himself and beating himself up over that. No, you're worried about getting the heck out of there. But once again, that was fire though. Alright guys, so the last video of today of Horror Hump Days is Season 1, Episode 1, or just number 1. I'm not doing a whole seasons thing, although I might. But anyway, yeah, the last episode for the first episode of Horror Hump Days is Sleepover Stories Animated. Now I've never had a scary tale about sleepovers. I've had plenty of sleepovers before, but they've never turned into a horror story. But let's see how this guy or girl got a horror story out of a sleepover.
This happened when I was 15 years old. My best friend Anthony wanted me to come over for the night since his parents would be gone all weekend. I rode my bike over and put it in his backyard before letting myself in through his back door. We played basically every video game he had, from FIFA all the way to Call of Duty, with popcorn and other junk food spilled out all over the floor. As the night progressed, we moved from video games to watching half a movie and getting bored, to doing prank calls at close to 10 o'clock. Anthony made a few calls to different pizza places. When it was my turn, I just dialed a few random numbers in hopes to get someone at their house. On, say, my fourth attempt, I finally reached somebody. A guy with a deep and rough voice picked up, answering with a yeah instead of a hello. Anthony's laughing in the background made me stumble with my words mid-sentence, ultimately cracking up into laughter. I had never done a prank call, so I sucked at it. The guy on the other end was silent. I regained a straight face and tried to continue with the call. It went something like this. Sir, would it be alright if I borrowed one of the wheels from your car? What's your name, kid? My name is Bob. Really? You sure it's not Anthony? It hit me like a brick. I looked up at Anthony, whose face was noticeably full of fear. I hung up the phone, not wanting to be on the line with whoever that was for another second. Anthony, who the hell was that? I asked him. I don't know, he told me. Does your caller ID info display your name or something? No, it shows my dad's name. We hopped on the computer and did some research, trying to figure out how it was possible to get someone's name through their phone number. It didn't make sense how he could get Anthony's name so quickly. He was way too young at the time to be on any of those personal information sharing websites. We ended up asking a question on Yahoo Answers, since no one had a similar experience. The question turned up no answers. I suggested he call his dad, but he said he wasn't supposed to have anybody over for the weekend, so he didn't want to call. We planned on sleeping in the living room, so we just resumed watching the movie that we hadn't finished from earlier. Right after the phone call had left my mind, me and Anthony looked at each other when we heard his front storm door opening, and then the doorknob to the front door began to turn.
Oh, I got the chills! Oh, I got the chills!
It only was able to turn about halfway before the lock restricted it. Anthony turned off the TV, and I went over to the window to see who it was. I spread the blinds open. There was a tall guy standing outside. He noticed the blinds moving, and turned to look at me.
Oh!
I practically threw the blinds back into place. Me and Anthony hid in the kitchen, listening for any more noises. We heard the sound of the gate to the backyard opening, as it was right outside the kitchen window. God damn it, I said. I forgot to shut the back door. Anthony urged me to run and shut it. I made it to the hallway leading to his back door, and froze. There was a silhouette standing outside the back door. I don't think he noticed me, but he was surely looking into the house. He opened the door and stepped inside. I tiptoed to the kitchen and motioned for Anthony to follow me upstairs. We made it to his room as quietly as possible, pulling the door shut to avoid making any noise. We crawled under his bed. He had cloth covering the bottom of his bed, so you couldn't see anything under it unless you actually moved the cloth. The doors downstairs all opened, each one getting closer to the stairs. Thumps finally began up the stairs, and he was right outside the door now. The door to the room opened. I could hear Anthony's breathing. It was too loud. Footsteps moved over to the closet, and then the closet opened. I could hear the coat hangers being slid around as the fabric of the jackets and coats rubbed against each other. Footsteps moved over to the bed and stopped. I felt like my heart was about to explode out of my chest. Anthony's breathing was too loud. I had to cover his mouth with my hand. Nothing but silence in the room now. We laid still for so long, I almost thought he wasn't even in the room anymore. I moved my hand away from Anthony's mouth and whispered in his ear, "You think we can make a run for it?"
No.
He was about to answer when the most disturbing, memory-haunting scream I'd ever heard filled my ears as Anthony was seemingly dragged out from under the bed. I crawled out and saw him struggling with the man. I desperately looked around for anything to use as a weapon. I settled with the screwdriver sitting on his nightstand. I hurried over to the man and drove the screwdriver into his back.
Conveniently there.
He let go of Anthony as he let out a scream of agony, giving us time to get the hell out of the house. Running onto the road would give away our position too easily. It would take too long to make it to his neighbor's house. We dove for the tree line in the woods and took cover behind a bush, watching the house. The back door opened as the man stepped outside, looking around the backyard. He then looked out to the woods. I felt his eyes pass me as he scanned through the tree line. It seemed that it was too dark for him to see us. Then he turned his head back in our direction.
My neck twitches.
I ducked behind the bush. "Joe, he's coming." "What?" "Dude, get up, we gotta run." He was right. The man was approaching us fast. How could he have seen us? We ran through the woods with the leaves crunching under us, giving away our position. When Anthony tripped over something, I crouched down with him, hoping we had run far enough. Not even 20 seconds later, oncoming footsteps from the direction we were running from came fast. They slowed down only 2 trees away from us as we lay face down in the leaves. Moments later, the footsteps take off in another direction. We waited until we could no longer hear them and took off back in the direction of the house. While running, over the sound of leaves crushing and my heavy breathing, I could swear I heard leaves crushing from behind us. We made it back to his backyard, into his house, and this time remembering to shut the back door. We were now able to call the police. Anthony stayed on the line with them, while I patrolled the back windows making sure nobody was out there. It was so dark though, I couldn't see anything. So I did something that seems stupid today. I turned on his backyard lights, and immediately in the distance, over by the woods, I saw him, standing in front of a big tree. He turned off back into the woods and disappeared out of sight. That was the last time me or Anthony ever saw him. I would be lying if I told you we heard the occasional knocks at our windows or something cliche. No, that was it. 5 years have passed and nothing has happened. Do I wonder if it was somehow linked to the prank call? Maybe. Does it make sense? Not really. But yeah, this was the story of how me and my still best friend Anthony almost died during a break-in.
Dang. Alright guys, that's gonna wrap up for Horror Hump Days today. Actually, hold up. Today's not Wednesday, it's Friday. Frightening Fridays. Yes, guys, it's not Horror Hump Days, it's Frightening Fridays. Today, so starting now on October 28th, 2022 on a Friday, every single Friday, we're going to be reacting to scary stories or any other thing that's horror related. But yeah, I am excited for this. As a matter of fact, next week is Monday, and Monday is Halloween. So I might do a Halloween special for that. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys are excited as I am for Frightened Fridays. But that's gonna wrap up on the first episode. So hope you guys enjoyed. Give it a like, subscribe, and comment down below what you thought, and comment down below if you guys what should I react to next, or any other, or something that's horror that I could react to. It's all up to you or me. It's probably gonna be up to me because you guys don't comment. But please don't comment fake or comment anything that like, oh, you copied Courage Kitchen, oh, you copied the Cub Scouts, you copied blah blah blah. I'm just doing my thing, okay? That I inspired off of other people, all right? But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let's see if we can get 2 likes in this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.